With the trade deadline being done, I decided to break down some of the trades that in my opinion are the most important. If you think a trade I left out deserved to be in this video, you can yell at me in the comments, but let's not waste any more time. The first trade we will be talking about is the Sixers getting Buddy Hield and the Pacers getting Marcus Morris, Furkan Korkmaz, and multiple second-round picks. For the Sixers side, I love this trade. Besides not having to give up much of anything of value for Buddy Hield, he is also a great fit. Buddy Hield is one of the best shooters in the NBA. He has a quick trigger and he's elite shooting, both spotting up and on the move. And with how much he moves off the ball, combining how good he's shooting off the move, that can open up the Sixers playbook, which is huge considering Embiid's going to be out for the next month or two. When Embiid does come back this season or next season, I can see the dribble handoffs between him and Embiid being lethal. This leads me to Hield's contract. He is on the last year of his deal, but I imagine the Sixers will re-sign him this offseason, considering shooters like him don't grow on trees. Now, with the Pacers side, it's simple. They were not going to re-sign Buddy Hield this offseason. Instead of losing him for nothing, now they got two contracts that expire after this season. Those contracts being Morris and Korkmaz, while adding more picks to their draft capital. The second trade we will talk about is the Raptors getting Kelly Olynyk and Ochai Agbaji, while the Jazz get Kira Lewis, Otto Porter, and a 2024 first-round pick, which is the least favorable of OKC, the Clippers, Rockets, and Jazz. So basically, it's a late first-round pick. For the Raptors side, I love this trade. Olynyk is a quality floor spacer, and so is Agbaji, despite him having a down year this season. But on corner shots from deep, he's shooting 40.6% this season, and he's a solid point of attack defender, capable of guarding point guards to bigger wings. Coming into the season, the Raptors' lack of floor spacing was a concern. Now adding Agbaji and Olynyk, plus Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, and Grady Dick, they have good spacing around their franchise players, Scotty Barnes. Kelly Olynyk is on the last year of his contract, but I believe it's very likely the Raptors re-sign him this offseason on a 2-year deal. Now, with the Jazz side, I don't like this for them. I understand trading Olynyk if they weren't going to re-sign him, but why trade Agbaji? They just got him not even 2 years ago in the Donovan Mitchell trade. I feel they are giving up on him way too early. The Jazz are basically taking a flyer on Kira Lewis, and Otto Porter has a player option which he will accept, but he's not going to play for them at all. And the Jazz are adding another first-round pick to their already big draft capital. Next trade we will be talking about is Gordon Hayward to the Thunder for Trey Mann, Davis Bertans, Vasilij Micic, and draft compensation. This trade for the Thunder is a W if Hayward can stay healthy, which is a big if, but he fits in seamlessly. He can start or come off the bench for them. He can play off the ball with him being a solid shooter from deep. Hayward is good on catch and shoot shots from deep, shooting 40.8% this season. He is a decent self-creator, sometimes being capable of creating his own shot off the bounce and attacking off the catch, hitting a teammate for an open shot, and he gives them a vet in the locker room. Hayward is on the last year of his contract, so maybe he leaves in the offseason, but I believe it's more likely he stays. With the Hornets side, what they got is okay. They're taking a flyer on Trey Mann. He has shown flashes at times, but not consistently. Vasilij Micic could be a okay role player for them, and Davis Bertans is not going to play for them at all, but his contract expires after next season. And they add more picks to their draft capital. The next trade we will be talking about is the Knicks getting Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks, while the Pistons are getting Quentin Grimes, Malachi Flynn, Evan Fournier, and 2 second-round picks. With the Knicks side, I love this trade for them. Getting Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks is a huge boost to their spacing. Bojan Bogdanovic is an elite shooter from deep, while being able to create his own shot. He's going to slide in perfectly into the starting lineup with OG Anunoby and Julius Randle out, and he fits well on the bench. Alec Burks is an elite shooter from deep that can also create his own shot sometimes. He gives them a much needed scoring punch off the bench. Now, with the Pistons, I'm not the biggest fan of the return they did get. I did like them getting Quentin Grimes in this trade. Grimes is still young. He's a good shooter from deep off the catch. He's good at attacking closeouts and making the right play. Defensively, he's a very solid point of attack defender that can defend point guards to some bigger wings. Malachi Flynn and Evan Fournier are not going to play for them. Plus, Fournier's contract has a team option next offseason, which the Pistons will decline. Don't like them only getting 2 second-round picks. They should have tried to get 1 first-round pick from the Knicks. Now, before we get into the rest of the video, I would appreciate it if you could like this video, as it helps the video perform better in the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe to the channel. I would gladly appreciate it. The next trade we will be talking about is what the Mavericks did. They traded for Daniel Gafford and gave the Wizards Rashawn Holmes and draft compensation. The second trade they did was trading for PJ Washington, and they gave the Hornets Grant Williams, Seth Curry, and a 2027 first round pick, top 2 protected. For the Mavericks, these 2 trades are incredible. Daniel Gafford is a huge upgrade over Dwight Powell, who sucks. Gafford is a great lob threat and screener, which is perfect playing next to Luka. And Gafford is a good rim protector, which the Mavs also needed outside of Derek Lively. PJ Washington is solid offensively, despite him not shooting the greatest, especially when it comes from deep. But now he will be having way more open looks because of the offensive gravity Luka and Kyrie Irving have. So I expect his percentages to go up, especially from deep because of this, and him taking overall less bad shots. PJ Washington is a decent connective passer, and defensively he's okay, but maybe he could be better now being on a winning situation. With the Wizards side of the Gafford trade, I hate the return they got. I don't even understand why they traded for him for what they received. And with the Hornets side of the PJ Washington trade, it's meh. They got another first round pick to add to their draft capital. Grant Williams is not a bad player at all, but the contract he's on is terrible, and Seth Curry, I would not be surprised if they bought him out. The last trade we will be talking about is the Nets trading Spencer Dinwiddie to the Raptors for Dennis Schroeder and Thad Young. Now, you're thinking this trade is not important, besides the Raptors getting rid of Schroeder's longer contract for Dinwiddie's contract that expires after this season, which I thought the same, but this trade is important because the Raptors a couple hours ended up releasing Spencer Dinwiddie, making him the best player on the buyout market. And yes, he's been having a very bad season, but I believe with the right playoff team or contender, he can become a positive player again like he did on the Mavericks a couple years ago. In my opinion, I think the Knicks won the trade deadline. Getting Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks has elevated them from being a tough second round exit. Now they're legit enough to make the conference finals. Man, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching this entire video. Let me know in the comments your opinion on what team won the trade deadline. See y'all in the next one.